So if I drop a fib from here to here, this high to this low, we see that the dollar bought up to our second kill zone level, all right? So we might get another push up to this level, and then a 50% retrace is what I'll be looking for. %50 retrace before that buy up. Okay, now that could be a 50%, it could be down to 6.2 also. Okay, guys, anywhere in this area is where I would be looking for rejection. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy DeAnte, Break the Cycle Section. How you doing? And welcome to tonight's Break the Cycle FX weekly chart and analysis session, all right? So let me go through a couple of announcements real quick before we get started. Like I said, go ahead and tap them. I'm on. Wherever you saw the link to tonight's call, okay, let people know. Hey, it's a free webinar. Share that link everywhere. Especially to all your trading friends, is looking to catch a couple of extra pips throughout the week, all right? Second thing, guys, if you have to leave tonight, don't worry. If you have to leave the session early, do not worry. The replays are on our YouTube channel. You can go check that out at youtube.com/breakthecyclefx. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. Comment on the videos if they're very valuable, if they're valuable to you, or if you got any kind of gold nuggets from it, all right? Also, be sure to keep your mics muted throughout the call, please. I appreciate you. Let me take care of that real quick. Good to go. All right, so all the replays will be on our YouTube channel. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. I will be dropping a lot more short videos, like 2 to 3 minutes of trades that we're taking throughout the week, all right? So you guys can see it beforehand. You guys can see what I'm looking at, why I'm looking at the trade. And if you turn on the notifications button, you might be able to catch that trade with me, okay? Let's talk about that, all right? So if you guys end up getting value from this webinar, you want to learn more, you want to take the Forex education to the next level, be sure to check out our academy, guys. I do drop daily signals. We do have a premium signals chat. We average about 2,000, 4,000 pips per week, all right? And that is not a lie, okay? I also drop chart markups, not just the chart markups from tonight, but if I see another pair, if I'm looking at another pair that we didn't cover tonight, and I decide to take a trade, if it's a good one that I'm confident in, then I'm definitely shooting those chart markups out to my members in our Slack channel, okay? We also do live trade sessions 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with Coach Coquina. All right, she's the admin of our 10 Pips and Dip group. I'm telling you guys, they are killing it in that group every week, man. Brand new people are coming into our academy and straight up making money. So make sure you guys check that out. The only way to get access to that 10 Pip and Dip group is you have to be an active member of Break the Cycle FX. So go to breakthecyclefx.com, check out our academy, check out everything we offer, all right? Also, if you can't, write down all these links tonight to our website, to our YouTube channel, and so on and so forth. Make sure that you keep an eye on the chat, okay? All the resources that I'm telling you guys tonight is going to be shared in the Zoom chat, so make sure you guys hit that. Last but not least, if this is your first time joining me on one of my webinars, first of all, how you doing? Second of all, I do live in the mountains, guys. My internet is the worst in the United States of America, and that is not a lie. So if I do lose reception tonight, guys, just hang out with me for about 10 minutes, okay? I do have co-hosts on the call with me that's going to be able to take over. We do have other coaches inside of Break the Cycle FS that is on this call. Just in case something happens, they'll be able to fill in for me while I'm gone. If I can't make it after that 10 minutes, guys, You'll get a message probably more than likely from Princess, letting you guys know I won't be able to make it back, but no worries. I will still cover charts once my internet comes back up. And all of the charts that we covered tonight will also be shared in our free Telegram channel. So guys, make sure you have access to that. So then you get access to the replay and to the charts and other things that I drop throughout the week, all right? If that is it, I feel like I'm missing something. Give me a minute. That's about it for now. Oh, that's what I was missing. Guys, while I'm going through this, right now I'm at the end, but I'm going to let you guys know what charts I'm going to cover, what pairs I'm going to cover. And if your pair that you want to look at is not on my list, by the time I make it to the end of all my pairs, if we have enough time, then I would still try to cover your pairs also, okay? I usually try to keep these calls between an hour to an hour and a half, all right? So just bear with me throughout that time. So if we're good to go, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you all the pairs that we're going to cover tonight that I have ready for you guys, okay? And then, like I said, drop your pairs if it's not on my list, guys, all right? If your pair is not on my list, only drop that pair, okay? And only drop it one time. Don't worry, I won't miss you, okay? So I'm going to cover the dollar index. I'm going to cover gold. I'm going to cover GBPUSD, GBPJPY, EURUSD. At the end, I'm going to cover US 30, SPS 500, okay? So I'm going to go over that one more time. I'm going to cover the dollar index. I'm going to cover gold. I'm going to cover GBPUSD, GBPJPY, EURUSD, and US 30, SPS 500, and NOS 100 at the end, okay? So if I did not cover your pair, just go ahead and drop that down in the chat, all right, guys? So first pair we're going to look at tonight is going to be on the dollar index, all right? I like to look at the dollar index to give us an idea of what other currencies we may be watching, what will happen to those currencies, okay? So first, let me show you what we charted up last week. This is what we were looking at on the dollar index last week. We saw that the CDI had like a nice little shark fin out the water. We were also in a third level kill zone level. Second level kill zone level. I'm sorry about that. If you don't know about anything I'm talking about right now, if you're brand new, just sit here. I'm just going to retract real quick. Just sit here and just hang out with us. Learn the information, see the information. The more times you see it, trust me, the more it's going to make sense. Right now, it might not make that much sense. Also, if this is your first time on one of my webinars, don't worry. I'm going to go over everything that's on my charts in the beginning, okay, to catch you guys up, and then you can follow along from there, all right? So just to review from last week, we saw the dollar was based off our dollar daily time frame. I'm sorry, we were at our second kill zone level. All right. So what we saw last week was a nice bullish candle on the daily time frame. So we're expecting it to go up, probably come back down, and then shoot back up again. All right. Remember what I say about the CDI, guys? Usually we're going to get two moves down here before we either buy up or buy down, okay? So you could look for double bottoms and double tops on our CDI, all right? So for example, right here, this is the ugly double bottom, right? But it was a nice shark fin out the water. We see we had a half a bat move here before it moved up. But on the CDI, we saw we had a drop, push up, drop, and then the buy went up, guys. That's what we want to look for. Same thing for over here. You see our price came down, boom. Nice little double bottom on price. We also saw a double bottom on the CDI, all right? So we kind of expected dollar to pull down again one more time, and then we wanted to see that nice little buy up, all right? So let's see what happened on the dollar. Let me put my CDI back on here. So the CDI that I use, it's called the Traders Dynamic Index. This is the one I use, guys. CDI, Traders Dynamic Index, Twan Lewis, you'll see 1483. That's what I use. You see it come up right down here, okay? I don't modify it at all. I just use it as is, okay? So what we saw last week was, let's go back to the daily. What we saw last week was here was that that bullish candle we were looking for, or that we saw last week. We have a nice double bottom. Then now we have a nice strong bullish candle right here. So this, in my opinion, right now, I'm still looking at this chart as is. I'm still waiting for the dollar to buy up at least to the 50 EMA before it fell. Okay, so let's talk about gold, guys. Okay, actually, let me just go ahead and drop this chart real quick. All right, so I don't trade the dollar index. All right, I only use this to help me get my bearings on the other pairs like gold, GBPUSD, EURUSD, US30. Okay, so I'm still gonna drop this chart so you guys to see what I'm expecting. But like I said, I don't trade DSY. I just use it as a guide. Okay, so this is DSY. So tonight, I'm actually going to do something opposite. I'm going to go ahead. Actually, no, never mind. I'll go ahead and drop this chart in Slack. Okay? Give me one moment. So, as I'm covering this chart tonight, guys, I will drop all of the charts that we're going on right now straight to our Slack channel and break the cycle FX. Don't worry if you're on this call, guys. All of the charts will also be transferred over to our free Telegram channel. So make sure that you guys are in there, okay? You don't want to miss this stuff. So, long term, I'm expecting this to possibly buy back up, maybe to this next level, then pull down, then buy back up, all right? So let's talk about gold real quick before we look at it. Because I want you to understand a couple of things as far as like on this daily time frame when we're comparing the DXY to gold, all right? So usually whatever the dollar index is doing, we expect for gold to do the opposite, okay? Last week, gold just bought like hundreds. I think it was over 1,000 pips. It was sickening, right? A couple of things played into that, all right? Not just because of what the dollar was doing, but also because you have to understand right now we're in unprecedented times to where the market could do almost anything at any moment, all right? Especially with COVID-19. And then now we have the elections coming up and this, that, and the other. So you can probably expect a little bit of manipulation. But one thing I wanted to point out is, you know, when the dollar bought up yesterday and then fell, right? This didn't look like a lot of movement, right? But when you compare this to gold, when the dollar did this little movement of falling, gold skyrocketed, right? My whole point is this: you can't compare pips to pips when we're doing these. When we're looking at how things correlate or how they don't correlate. Okay, just because let's say the dollar might buy up 25, 50 pips, 100 pips, doesn't mean that gold will sell that same amount of pips, okay? We're looking at this for overall direction, okay? Not exactly for distance, if that makes sense. So, looking at the dollar, long term, we're still expected to buy up. I'm going to drop down just a little bit more so you guys can see. When we drop down to a lower time frame, you see this is pretty much respecting the 50 EMA on the 4 hours. So let me go back, let you guys know I'm using two EMAs, EMA 200, right? EMA 200 close, and then the EMA 50 close. All right, that's the red line, the red EMA, okay? So looking at this at the 4 hour, before we get that bigger buy on daily, remember that's a bigger time frame, so it's gonna take longer for that daily move to happen. In between that, on the smaller time frames, this is for all currencies. In between that, on the smaller time frames, the currencies are gonna be going up and down, okay? It's hardly ever a straight buy up or a straight sell down, all right? So with that being said, let's check out the dollar on the 4 hour real quick. We see right now it's touching our 50 EMA, okay? Usually on these higher time frames, when we start to hit these higher EMAs, you expect to get some kind of rejection, all right? That's what you commonly expect. So at the moment, we may get a push back down, not a very big one, before this breaks through the 4-hour EMA 50, okay? If I drop the fib on this bad boy, now if I'm talking too fast, please let me know, okay? If I need to slow down, please let me know. All right. All right, cool. So if I drop a fib from here to here, this high to this low, we see that the dollar bought up to our second kill zone level, all right? Let me go ahead and explain this kill zone levels right now. Don't worry about this. Let me see if I can do something here. All right, so don't worry about this light purple line, all right? Basically on my fib, I only look at about 3 levels. I look at the 0.62, the 0.70, and the 0.79. These levels might be slightly different from yours, okay? All I did was really, I rounded up on these, the 618, all right, and the 782. So I rounded up on these. And what I like to see is a deeper pullback to these levels, okay? It's deeper than the 50. A lot of people wait for the 50, which is cool, but I'd rather wait for this deeper pullbacks, all right? You see, we have a wick to the third kill zone level, and then it started to fall. So we might get another push up to this level, and then a 50% retrace is what I'll be looking for. 50% retrace before that buy up. Okay, now that could be a 50%, it could be down to 6.2 also. Okay, guys, anywhere in this area is where I would be looking for rejection. Okay. I'm going to drop this for you guys. Let me know if this makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll try to clarify. If not, then we will move on, guys. All right. So I'm going to drop this one right here. This is off the 4-hour. All right. So remember what I said about gold earlier? Let's go ahead and look at our chart from last week. This is gold. What we were looking for, gold in 1 hour, okay? So last week what we saw was gold was creating a bullish flag, all right? But it was also at like a monthly high. It's been at the monthly high. So we're expecting more than likely like a push down, okay? But if you remember, when I looked at this formation here, I showed you guys on the daily time frame that in my experience, anytime I see a formation like this, it always bought up. It always bought up, right? The reason why this one was so hard to really get a handle on, because gold is at new levels, right? Golds are at that has been in a long time. Okay, let's just put it like that. So we're expecting to sell, but prepare for the buy. And gold, we ate real good off of it last week. Here's what we got. We didn't get the sell. Definitely got the buy up, right? Definitely got the buy up. I need pictures of that. I can't see. Looks like about 800 pips, was it? Just at 1,000 pips. All right. So this definitely did not play out. Let's check out what we see. I'm going to leave that there on the daily time frame. All right, so gold right now is kind of something that you probably want to stay away from if you're not used to it, especially now the way it's moving. I think I already mentioned this earlier, but the reason why we're saying, well, one of the reasons why we're saying this kind of momentum on gold is because of COVID-19. Okay, people are jobs are being dismissed or temporarily closed, right? That includes gold refineries, right? So if they're not mining gold, if they're not digging for gold, right, then the value of gold will continue to go up, all right, because every day it's become more and more rare, all right. On top of that, you know, a lot of the world is looking at changing their currency. We're going to be moving away from fiat money, all right, fiat paper money. That's what it's called, all right. It's not even real money; they're promissory notes. Let's talk about that. So people are moving away from the dollar or moving away from paper money. You're going to see a lot of transition over the next couple of years to cryptocurrency, or countries coming up with their own type of cryptocurrency, all right? So with that being said, you never know when another announcement is going to be made of, you know, some bad news about COVID or some bad news about the U.S., right? So personally, after last week, I mean, I'm still expecting this to, everyone's expecting this to sell. Let's talk, okay? So being that everyone's expecting to sell and looking at it now, I think that we're probably going to get another push up on gold. I don't think that's going to be as big as the last one, but I do think we're going to get another push up, okay? On the daily time frame, one second. Let me check out this 15-minute real quick. All right. So on the daily time frame, we've finally started seeing some bullish momentum. All right. Looking at our TDI, this could possibly fall a little bit more, but as long as our market sentiment is way above the 50, we could possibly see a couple more pushes off of this. Okay. We're gonna definitely still need a pullback. If gold wants to keep on pushing up, we're gonna need a stronger pullback than this. So if we're expecting the dollar to buy, of course we expect gold to sell. But we saw on the dollar, on the smaller time frame, what was that? On the 4-hour time frame, that it was at the 50 EMA. So we could get a push down to the dollar, which tells me we could get a push up on gold, okay? So let's look at the lower time frame. Here's the 4-hour. We see that price bought up last week. Towards the end of the week on Friday, we also started getting this bearish momentum back down. Looking at our CDI, we see a nice little shark, a little bit of a shark fin out the water. But remember what I said, if we want to see a buy up or a sell down, we want to see a formation on this TDI also. That's a double bottom. So even if it pulls up, it might come back down and then go up, okay? Let me know if that part makes sense before I move on. Okay, cool. So the H4 TDI is over the 50 market sentiment, right? Look at this. All right, so here goes the 50 static, we're just almost perfect, right? So prices find the support on our 50 static, okay? It's also at the 50 on our fib level, okay? This fib level was drawn basically from here to here. We can't see it in the 4-hour, but you can see here. From here to here, right? Gold start to fall down. Nice little possible double bottom on the 50 on our fib, all right? So basically, I'm expecting, actually, let's go down to the 1-hour. Oh, this is the 1-hour. All right, cool. I'm expecting, where's my arrows at? We could push up to the 50. See another push down. And from here, I really wouldn't want to speculate no further than that, right? With that being said, understand that if this is the double bottom, this can also push higher, equal to the next leg here. So 2 levels, and then we might see a fall. So two different possible outcomes. This double bottom right here could play out. Price could break the 50 and buy all the way back up. That's 433 pips, okay? Or price could go up, hit the 50, find resistance, and then reject off of it down to the EMA 200, a second kill zone level, and then possibly buy up from there, okay? Did I lose anyone on this? Let me drop this because I want to show you one more thing on gold. I'm checking the chat. Everyone's good? Cool. All right. So this is on the 1 hour. Okay. So I want to know what could possibly support this double bottom. If it is a double bottom on a bigger time frame, you should always see some type of buy formation on the lower time frames, whether it's the 30-minute, the 15-minute, or the 5-minute. So I'm gonna drop down a couple of time frames, and we're gonna see if we see anything that may support a possible buy up at this point. Okay, so drop it down to the 30-minute. Let me see what we see. And when I'm looking for formations like this, I like to throw on my my line chart, right? And this is gonna point out my formations a lot easier. Like I see a double top right there, okay, on the 30-minute. I also see a possible, wait, before I say that, did you guys see any formation on here? Any other formation in this area right here that may support a possible buy up? Is anyone head and shoulders? Inverted head and shoulders. Yes. Yes. Nice. Thanks, Nadia. Darvel. Sloppy inverted. Yes, yes, yes. So I see a little bit, I see an ugly inverted head and shoulders here, okay? Then again, this could just be consolidation. So being that we got a nice little wick here, a nice wick here, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a nice buy up, okay? At least to the 50. From there, we got to see what happens. It has to break that 50, all right? But yeah, I do see this inverted head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Could possibly see the buy all the way up. On a bigger time frame, that looks like a double bottom, okay? So I just wanted to point that out real quick. We got that chart good to go. Is everyone good on gold? What could possibly happen? The main thing is be prepared. Trade what the market gives you. All right? If your confirmations don't hit, don't take the trade. Okay? No matter what the ratio you're looking at. If your confirmations don't hit, don't take the trade. You can always take it one step further. I already dropped this, so I'm going to delete a couple of things. Take it one step further. This actually should be one of the first steps. Drop some trend lines on here, right? So now you know. Hey, look, right now this currency is in this channel right here. You gotta wait for a breakout to the top or a breakout to the bottom. It's gonna look something like this. And you just wait and trade until you got your move. The breakout to the top. Once you get the breakout to the top, then the retrace, the pullback. This right here would be your entry on top of the trend line, right here, for the buy up. And you just take it right back to the previous high. Right here, okay? Or you get the breakout to the bottom. At this point, you want to break this level. Did I already put this on? Okay. Then the retest. And this would be the entry for the sell to go the other way, right? Basically, all you're doing is you're waiting for the currency to tell you what it's going to do. Take another retest, and then take the sell back down. Here's the thing about gold. Here's the thing about gold. Sometimes you don't get that retest, okay? Sometimes gold just, what it do? Sometimes gold just takes off, okay? That's just how it is. So if you're going to trade gold, just be aware of that, okay? You might not get your retest. But I'm going to go ahead and drop this bad boy. And we're going to move on to the next chart, which is GBPUSD, okay? I'm going to drop this. Gold on the 1 hour. Cool. So GU, here's what we saw last week. All right, so we looked at GU last week on the 1 hour time frame, and we saw a couple of things that gave us a pretty strong confirmation that GU more than likely will be buying. The first thing is this. I'm going to start from the top, okay? First, where's my mouse? Okay. First, we had this nice drop here, all right? We saw that it didn't break no previous lows, okay? It didn't come all the way down here, so we weren't expecting a trend reversal, all right? Number two, we saw that prices down to our 50 EMA. And we know on a higher time frame, which the 1 hour really isn't that high, but it's still respectable. On these time frames, we know that usually that when price hits our 50, we expect some kind of rejection, all right? Especially if it's with the trend, all right? We saw that GU was on a uptrend, all right? Price fell down to the 50 over here, and then it bought up. And then last week when we saw the chart, we were right here at the 50 EMA with a nice engulfing bullish candle, right at a bank rate, all right? If you guys remember, bank rates are prices that ends in all zeros or like 500 or 50. For example, 1.3200, this is a bank rate. It ends in all zeros. 1.3250 or 1.32500, this is a minor bank rate because it ends in 500, okay? So price is right at 1.3100, okay? It's just 1 pip away from when we saw it last Sunday. So overall, we're expecting to buy back up, especially after seeing market sentiment on the TDI was above the 50 static. We had the shark fin out the water, and we had the TDI cross our trigger line, okay? Once we get this cross, and we have all these other confirmations stacked up, it's go time, baby. All right, these are the trades that you want to probably drop a slightly higher lot size, or kind of stack it so you can maximize the move. So let's see what GU did last week. GBPUSD. Let's talk about it. Where were we at? We were on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour. All right, cool. So what did we see happen? Even though, we had all those confirmations, we knew, like, man, this means it may be ready to buy up. GU did what it's known to famously do, which is once it breaks a bank rate, okay, it retests it, and then it usually goes to the next level. Remember, this is 100 pips. These are 100 pip moves, all right? These are 100 pip moves. GU usually moves in 100 to 150 pips, okay? So we see price came down, dropped 100 pips, went 100 pips back up, dropped another 100 pips, and then just finally decided to break off 50, okay? So what can we possibly see for this week? Even though it did end up buying up, I mean, that was way off because it ended up dropping 100 pips first. You guys know what I mean? So let's look at the daily time frame. Right off the rip, looking at the daily, we see that price just about tested previous resistance, all right? Now we have a nice engulfing bearish candle. Now gold may, GU may possibly be ready to sell long term, but we have to see a couple more confirmations. We have to see this level being broken, okay, at 1.3 thousand. But that does not mean that you can't take trades in between, guys, all right? Especially for my scalpers out here, okay? So overall, the TDI shows a little bit that bullish momentum is weakening, all right? So what I mean by that is this. Market sentiment is here like above the 50, okay? But let's see that price started to fall a little bit, all right? We may get support at this level, another support level here, all right, and another bounce up. But we see that once this starts to curve over, especially on the daily time frame, once you start to get that crest and that cross, we may be going back bearish, at least back down to our support level here, okay? So let's look at the H4. Couple things here. The 4 hour, right now we're at the 50 EMA. Same thing as always. This is one time frame higher than the last chart we were looking at. And I expect some kind of rejection off of it, all right? At least a possible, like a 50% rejection, all right? But you always have to wait for that, all right? You have to wait for that confirmation. So for me, I'm seeing we're at a minor bank rate, all right? At this minor bank rate, 1.3051, 1.3050, it can easily reject off of this and come back down to the support level, okay? Remember, it's a minor resistance level. So if we look down, we see our TDI is coming out of our Bollinger Bands. We may be possibly getting across here soon. If that happens, this will buy back up. I would take it back at least to this level should be about 50 pips, okay? And then trail at TP2 will be at like 3150, okay? So remember I said GU likes to move 100 to 150 pips. If we do get rejection on here, I want to go for that 50 pips, okay? This is on the 1 hour. We're still in the bipoma, but the CDI has crossed over the 50 static. So this pullback may only be 50 pips. So something like this possibly. And then a push down. Okay, based on the 1 hour, all right? And we can keep on going down, guys, because we're still looking for the same confirmations no matter what time frame we're on, right? If we're on are we on the uptrend? Are we in a bipoma? Do we have some sort of formation at a strong support resistance level, right? So 1 hour, we still have to wait to see if we break this 50. If it does reject, we're just gonna play inside of these EMAs and take it up to the 50 EMA. Okay, once it breaks the 50 EMA, if it breaks the 50 EMA, then you can go to the next resistance level, which is 1.31, 1.3200. Okay, so either this or we get the break. All right, or we get the break. Let's look at the 15-minute. 15-minute for my scalpers. Or the 5-minute, all right? So the 1 hour, 4 hour and above, that's for my for all you intraday traders. You want to trade off of these higher time frames and kind of just back away from the charts and not have to watch it, right? If you want to scalp it, look, right on the 15-minute, remember what I said earlier, price doesn't just like to buy straight up and straight down. Looking on the higher time frames, that's all we're gonna see. But as we kind of zoom in and zero in on price, which is doing now, you're going to see a lot of push-ups and push-downs no matter what direction you're going, okay? So looking at the 15-minute time frame on GBPUSD, we see that price already hit the 50 EMA one time, okay? And then it rejected off of it. Now it looks like it wants to push back up to it. Look here, guys. But this 50 EMA is being respected on this time frame. Respect, rejection, right? Look, respect, rejection back up. Once it broke, GU is really respecting this. Okay, so until it shows me otherwise, if I'm going to scalp this, I'm going to scalp this with Palma. So I'm going to wait for a price to come up here, see if I get rejection, and if I do, then we're going to do what the market tells us to do. We're going to take it back down. Actually, we want to take it back down to here first, because this is where price came from. Okay, then if it breaks that, TP2 will be further down. So now we have a long-term setup and a short-term. Make sense? Any questions? And if it breaks the 50, this is where we're going. Take profit 1, take B. Let's just do this. Boom. Take profit 1. And then we can bring this back down to about 31.50. About right here. Okay, super simple. Super simple, easy, man. Easy stuff, right? Easy stuff. Just don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. Listen, we do a lot. I work on method charts and I work with indicators. If your indicators are too much, they're there to help. They're not a necessity. Okay? My wife trades off of a negative chart from her phone and she hits. All right? So you don't need all the extra noise. If it's too much for you, take it off and just trade with price action, all right? Price action is always going to tell you what the next move is. Always. You just have to have the insight and the knowledge to read it, okay? Forex is like another language, especially when you're just starting to learn it, okay? So you have to make sure you get the knowledge that you need to know how to read this language, okay? And bend the market to your will. That's the whole point of all this. I don't care how much you know, you can still learn more. Okay? You can still learn more. All right. Let me edit that real quick. 1 second. That was GBPUSD on the 15-minute. Cool. All right. Next pair is going to be GBPJPY. So last week, here's what we saw. It kind of looked similar to GU, did it not? It was reaching for a high, right? This was on the 4 hour, so it's reaching for this high over here. All right, we're expecting it to pull back down to our trend line. Okay, we caught that sell down, boom, and looking for a buy off of our trend line. Back up, depending on what it does. Okay, we have to make sure that the 50 EMA is lined up with our trend line. Okay, we'll see what the market looks like after this. But last week we were looking for the sell down. We saw it was at a high. So we're looking for it at least pull down to our trend line, maybe even the 50. I said last week, by the time price does come down, our 50 EMA should be about this area right here, okay? Back up to here for us to catch the entry back up. On the flip side of that, we also saw that this high right here that was right around a bank rate, okay? It was right around 139.000, right? Ends in all zeros. That's a major bank rate. And when we saw this exhaustion weight, quote unquote, then we were saying, okay, it might be time for this to fall, okay? So let's look at GJ. What time frame was that? That was on the 4 hour, all right. Let's look at GJ on the 4 hour. Okay, so what happened to GJ last week? It played out. It didn't reach. Let me see here. It's a little bit. There we go. It didn't reach our trend line all the way exactly, right? But remember what I said. By the time price fell, we're going to want our 50 EMA to be around our trend line, okay? And that's exactly what we got. Price fell down here from where it was. Fell down about 117 pips, bought back up about 150, I want to say. 130 pips, all right? And then it fell down at the end of the week last week and tested our 50 EMA, and what did it do? It rejected immediately off of it. So now, what could we possibly see? Let me look at a couple of things real quick. All right, so delete that arrow, delete that, delete this, bring this up. All right, so what we see here is price brought up, hit that resistance level, came back down, kind of consolidated sideways over here, right? I am seeing a little bit of bearish momentum possibly. Look down at our TDI. We see before we had this strong bearish push, we had the TDI cross over, okay? This still has room to come down, guys. This still has room to come down, all right? With that being said, remember this is on the daily time frame. So we can still get that side movement here, all right? Everyone's good. We see that price came down to our trend line and touched it, right? So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove that. What I want to do is, all right, that's actually, we don't even need that. Let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame. All right, so basically we're trading between this zone right here, between this resistance level and the 50 EMA, or between this resistance level and this support level, okay? So we got a nice exhaustion rate off of the 50. We see that price is below market sentiment, but market sentiment is above the 50 static, which tells me that we still got some strength on the bullish side, okay? Tells me we could definitely possibly see a push back up, all right? At least to this high over here, which is about 84 pips. That is 100 pips up here. If we took it back to the high. What we're looking for is a cross on the TDI, all right? As long as these are separate down here, can you guys see that? As long as these lines are separate down here, all right, price is still pushed down, okay? So we want to wait for this to cross up like it did over here. Nice little cross up, right? Wait for it to turn blue if you want, okay? And then look to see what kind of candle formations if you have rejection, and then you can take the buy up, all right? So I want to see at least probably an 80 pip buy, at least to this level here. So we're going to wait until you have bullish momentum, a bullish candle. For me, it'll be a blue candle, okay? What I mean by bullish momentum is this. See how price came down, consolidated a little bit. We had the bullish push here, but wasn't really that strong. Price came back down, right? But finally, when we got the push up, this push broke this high. You see this high right here, the wick of this candle? This candle broke that high. Came back down for a retest, more, and then what did it do? What did it do? And then it started to buy up, right? In line with POMA, in line with the uptrend, right? Look what the TDI looked like. This is how you study your charts, guys, right? You look back, see how price moved, and look at how the instruments reacted. What did they show beforehand, right? Look at the TDI. Price crossed over the 50 static, right? This 50 static, this moves, okay? This moves as price goes on. See how I was going up right here? Up, and now it's coming back down. That moves. So you have to pay attention to the scale. okay? Because you could be all the way at the bottom or all the way at the top. You don't know. You have to look at it. So we saw here the TDI and the trigger line both crossed over market sentiment. That's when we had that final push off of the 50, and look what it did. These two lines stayed separate. It kept on pushing up. Even when your TDI line, which is the blue and red line, okay, this orange line is the trigger line, even when the TDI line got close to the trigger line, you see it never crossed. It crossed a little bit here, but still, it was still very strong bullish momentum. So even if this TDI gets close, that doesn't mean it's ready. You still have to wait for the cross, guys. Wait for your confirmations. Have some patience. You feel me? Everyone feel me? Your TDI doesn't look like this. Maybe you picked the wrong one. Did you pick the right one? Let me know. Hey, I'm gonna hook you up after the call, Pink Panther, and we're gonna solve this mystery. You feel me? All right, cool. GBPJPY. Is everyone good on this to understand why I said what I'm looking for? And remember, if we don't get what we're looking for, are we going to trade it? If the market shows us something else, are we still going to trade it? Remember, we don't control the market, guys. We could just kind of have a prediction or an expectation of what it might do, and then react to that, okay? Let's see here. No, you're good, or no, you don't understand, or no, you're good, or no, I don't know. All right, cool. All right. And I think that was the last. Oh, no, EURUSD. Let's check out EURUSD. And then we'll look at the news and what time is it. All right. Then I can look at your guys' pairs. All right. So EURUSD off the 1 hour last week, we saw that price broke our 50 EMA, and it was testing the support level 1.1746 or minor bank rate 1.1750. Okay, right above it. So we saw it hit support. Okay, it is in an uptrend. We saw it hit support on the TDI. We saw we had the first drop already. All right, remember what we said? We'd like to see just double bottoms like here. Look at this. One drop, pulled up just a little bit, dropped down again, nice little double bottom on the TDI, and what did it do straight up? It bought up. So that's what we're looking for, something like that on EURUSD. We're hoping for a nice double bottom. Maybe the price will fall down to the EMA 200 and then a buy up, or it could have bought up right here off of the support level for the buy. That's what we're prepared for. Let's see what it did. EURUSD. I got some things on here. Let me delete that. All right. So what did it do? Oh, that's the 4 hour. All right. So we saw right at the support level, right around here. So what did it do? It ended up falling down to the EMA 200. All right. It bought up a little bit more, then it fell down, and then we got that big buy up. So both of this second analysis, the one that played out, even though it didn't sell as deep as we first were predicting, but we would have saw on the chart when we were looking at it, that price was at the EMA 200. And then looking at the CDI, we would have known, hey, look, you know, it's not going no further. Boom, right? We saw the nice little CDI cross above the 50, above the market sentiment, I'm sorry, and it bought right up, okay? It came back down for another retest and then bought up again. So, where we at? EURUSD. Let's start on the weekly on this one, okay? Let's start on the weekly. I got something over here. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to the weekly. Check that out. So weekly time frame, I'm going to start up high because we're going to end up going down lower. You guys will see why I'm doing that, okay? These higher time frames will show you overall direction. The lower time frames will give you entry. So for the last 3 weeks, we've been testing this level, okay? Every time that we hit it, the last 2 weeks, we continue to bypass it about 8 or 9 pips. So that could be judged as maybe stop hunts, okay? People will see that price is exhausting, all right? We're right back at the previous high. We haven't been here since 2018, okay? We've already hit it twice and rejected back down. So I'm still expecting this to fall down, okay? I'm still expecting the rejection. Let's go down to the daily. Overall, I want to see a sell, okay? On the daily time frame, what do we get? We got a nice little engulfing candle here, okay? Price will continue to fall down, at least back down to our support level. If you look at the TDI, though, you see that price is testing the 50 static. I'm sorry, market sentiment. Price is testing market sentiment, the yellow line, right here. All right, so we could possibly see price reject off of this. Okay, another reason why I believe, or I'm leaning towards a long-term sell on this, is anytime this yellow line, this is market sentiment, on a higher time frames, when it gets up this high, it starts hitting like the 65, 69, even 70, 79 is way up here. That's when you can expect a reversal on the currency, okay? When that market sentiment is way up high, all right, it's showing a lot of market exhaustion, we can expect a pullback or a full-on reversal on the higher time frame. So let's keep on going down. We see the engulfing candle here, right? What I want to do is just run the daily time frame. I'm going to drop a fib on this candle itself because after a strong move like this, you expect at least a 50% pullback of the candle. So I want to see the price come up half the distance of this candle before I would look for maybe a full-on overall reversal, okay? This is if I'm looking for a retracement trade going against the trend, all right? So the reason why I would be interested in the 50% retracement on this is because looking at the TDI, guys, I'm expecting the pullback, right? So let's keep on going down and see how far, if this pullback did happen, can price go up, right? Let's just drop down. Let's see the 4 hour. 4 hour, that looks, I want to see a little bit more than this. Let's go down to the 1 hour. All right. 1 hour time frame. Let's clean this up just a little bit. Basically, I'm going from the top of this wick over here to the bottom of this wick. The absolute high, you know, the previous drop, and then how far it dropped. All right, so now I'm expecting price to possibly pull up to the 50. Okay, it's looking kind of sketchy right now, I'm not gonna lie. I might want to move this down to here on this drop. This might be more like it. So price could pull up to two different spots, guys, all right? Number one, it could pull back up to here, all right? This, I'm leaning more towards this because the way it's looking, it looks like price may actually pull up 50% of this candle, which it has already done, okay? So if we end up getting another rejection off this level, it may go as high up as the 0.62, okay? And then end up getting a drop. Or it's the 1 hour. Then go to the 4 hour real quick. That EMA 200 is a long way. Long way. But this support level is right here. That's the support level, okay, right here. The price hesitated at. So we could see it go this or do a straight drop. Okay, so if it does pull up, by the time it pulls up here, we want to see our 50 around this area. Okay, we want to see the 50 EMA around this area. And then if we get nice rejection, boom, take the sell. Take profit 1 will be at the EMA 200. Take profit 2 will be at the previous low here. Take profit 2, okay. Entry. So far, so good, guys. Any questions while I'm doing this? Entry, boom, or right here. If it decides to fall, give us a nice bullish, bearish push, boom, right? Get the sell back down to here, okay? This is on EURUSD. Try to catch that sell. And I bet if we go down, let me do this. Let me give you guys this chart. Hopefully, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller, guys. Just bear with me just for a second. I want to make sure you guys get this. All right, cool. EURUSD, here we go. 1 hour. And as always, guys, remember, if the market doesn't show you the move, once again, don't take it. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush into the market, all right? So I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate here. All right, so we got this move, looking for the push up, right? I'm more interested in this push up. I'm going to, I already dropped the chart, so I want to do something else real quick without moving nothing else. All right, play a little bit of devil's advocate, all right? So anytime that you make money in the market, someone else is losing money. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna get to those questions, guys. Let me just say this real quick. Every time you make money in the market, someone else is losing. Every time you lose money in the market, someone else is making. So you have to play a little bit devil's advocate, because if we're looking for a sell, then someone else, for us to make that money, someone else has to be looking for the buy. All right. So I like to play devil's advocate, see both sides of the story, and then determine which one is more probable, or determine, you know, which one do I have the most confirmations for, okay? So you saw me, I dropped the fib off of one of the candles. I think it was this one here, okay? To see how far I could pull up. But I also want to see, is this really a strong level for it to pull up? Am I at a fib level? Am I at a kill zone level? So if I drop my fib from the bottom, I'm gonna drop my fib from here. Okay, I could even drop it from here, actually. Either or, let me drop it from here. Drop my fib from the bottom here to the top. Let's just go all the way up here. And we see that if price was to pull up, this will be the area it would do so. All right? Anywhere in this area right here. It bounced right off of our 0.705 level, which is our second kill zone level for the buy up. All right? Is that the 50? It could come back down to this kill zone level for another push up. Okay? So try to look at both sides of the coin. Why would someone take a buy if you see a sell? Why would someone take a sell if you see a buy? Okay? And then you know what to expect no matter what. Okay? So do you include the wick to start with the body? I thought wicks matter in this case. This is at the wick, brother. This is at the wick here. Did this wake up here? Yeah, we might get that bounce off the 50, like you said, Bradley. Are you asking why am I using Fibonacci? All right. Do you include, I thought Wix managers said, no, when you draw the Fibonacci. Yeah, I drew it from this wick to this wick. If I didn't answer that, hit me up, bro. I got you. We'll do some Fibonacci stuff. All right, so that is the last pair EURUSD. Did I drop this? I dropped the other one. Okay, cool. That's the last pair for the night, guys. I am going to look at your pairs, though. That's the last of my pair. All right. AUDUSD is the only pair dropped. All right, I got you. So let's check out AUDUSD. And then I'll look at US 30, SPS 500. Euro NZD. All right, cool. So AUDUSD. We didn't get enough time to actually chart this up last week. But the week prior, or did I chart it up and drop it? Can't remember. I don't see it. So I don't think we got to this one last week, but our charts before that ended up playing out, right? Let's see what we can possibly see for this week. So we see, let's go ahead and drop some trend lines. We could go this far. Let's see if I can find something a little bit more local. That's fine. Drop some trend lines on here real quick, guys. Easy day. So first off, what did we always say, guys? If we have to know where we're going, right? True, we got our support resistance levels here, but I still like to see some kind of formation over here, right? So if we can't see a current formation or a previous formation or structure to the left, you know, higher than what it is now, or lower if we're going bullish, then we just have to keep on going up time frames. So I'm gonna go from the daily to the weekly. What do we see? Off of the weekly time frame, we are at the EMA 200. All right. And this is one of our bigger time frames. So this resistance level here, this resistance level is much stronger than any other level on the time frames below. Okay. So look, the last 3 weeks, every time we hit this level, boom, price fell back down, right? Opened up, bought up, rejected off of the level. Here, rejected off the level. How many pips is that? It's 96 pips, okay? So right now, I'm expecting to see something like this. This is on the weekly, so I'm just gonna draw just a little bit of a overall, at least down to this level here. The reason why I say at least down to, I can't even see what price level that is. The reason why I say at least down to this level right here is because what did price do prior, right? Price bought up, hit this level, okay? Pulled back down, all right? Price had to catch its breath before it did the next push up. And this next push up broke this level, right? So what do we know? What do we always say? Breakout, retest, entry, right? So we got the breakout, we got the retest right here. So we're gonna look for the sell down, retest, and then we could possibly enter back right here. By the time price comes down back down to this level, our 50 EMA should be back, should be somewhere around here, right? And then we're gonna look for a rejection and a possible buy back up. High time frame. This is gonna take a lot of time. So let's move it down. Let's go down a little bit. Let me just share this first. So overall, hold on. So now, all right, so we got the weekly. Let's go to the daily. All right. So let me say this. Just because we're expecting the market to sell doesn't mean it's going to sell when we want it to, right? It's just selling its own. So it could take a while for this to get over here. So for the time being, you know what we could do? We could trade inside this channel, all right? Let's see if we can find a more respected time frame. What I mean by respected time frame, I want to see it. We see price hitting this level here, boom. This trend line, boom. Now it's hitting these levels here. I want to see if these levels or this levels is bouncing off of the EMA on a particular time frame. Okay, so I'm gonna keep on going down, see if I can find a respected time frame. H4. This looks like this might be the respected time frame. Let's look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour. So all right. So this is the difference between the respected time frame and a non-respected time frame. You see how price is just moving back and forth over this 50 EMA, just violating it. Just don't even care it's there. Just you know what I'm talking about? So that is not a respected time frame. All right, price is being very violated. All right, here's the 4 hour. Look at the 4 hour. See how it's kind of respecting this 50 a little bit more? Boom. Boom, nice rejection off of it, rejection, right? This one pulled down a little bit more, but rejection, boom, rejection, rejection. This is a respected time frame, okay? This is a respected time frame. So now, looking at this, I'm expecting price to pull up. Pull up at least to the previous high. But we can even stay to the trend line. I'm about to go to the previous high. I have to go to the previous high. Okay? I'm expecting price to reject, boom, buy up. That's 67 pips. Okay? Now, keep in mind, we do have a resistance level here. And does this look like a double top to you? That's a double top right there. 1, 2. Okay? With the nice bullish candle afterwards. So, this buy, actually, I want to see this. Price pull up and then, oops, wrong one. Sell back down or sell down. Okay? So, the reason why I say that is because this. Remember, I just now said after an impulsive run, you want to see price pull back 50%, right? Looking at this 4 hour candle here and judging from this resistance level, this is a little bit more than 50%. All right, 50% is right above the 50 EMA, but this is lined up at our third kill zone level. Okay, so we could see rejection at the level we're at now, or more than likely, it's a pull back up to this resistance level, which is also a bank rate. Let me move this to where it's supposed to be. Which is also a bank rate. And then I would like to see rejection back down. By the time, if price did reject and sell off, by the time it did come back down, hopefully this EMA 200 is at the 50, and we might see a push up. But for now, I'm expecting probably more than likely a sell. Okay, who asked this question? Hopefully you're still here. I'm gonna take this bad boy. So remember, you'll wait for it to pull up, actually. Let me just do this. You'll wait for it to pull up. Show rejection, which means you want to see a blue bar, okay? A blue candle, a nice big one. I'm sorry. You want to see an orange candle, a nice big one, kind of like this one, okay? Kind of like something over here or over here, All right, that's what you want to see reject off of it. All right, keep it simple. Okay. So we've got a couple more pairs. Hold on. Here's AUDUSD H4 time frame. Just I posted that in Slack. All right. Let me look through this chat. Is there any questions about any of this stuff so far, guys? Oh, yes, there is. The exponential moving average gives a higher weight of recent price, while the simple moving average is equal. Okay. Okay, cool. So the reason why I prefer the EMA over the SMA is because I've always used the EMA. It's no particular reason. I don't have a bias against the SMA, right? And you can also use the SMA, right? If it works better for you to see things, you know, lining up better to use that. But the reason why I haven't used it is because I've probably used SMA every now and then. That's just because I just like the EMA. I just like the exponential EMA. Okay. If you ever used to the 50 SMA, use that bad boy. You know, whatever you're used to. Trading isn't set in stone. You can come up with your own style. Do you include the width? Yep, Fibonacci. Okay. All right. So, guys, while we're here, do me a favor. Do me a huge favor. Go on Facebook. If you got value from tonight's call, we still have a couple more pairs, so I just want to take a quick break. If you got value from tonight's call, go on Facebook. Go to my Facebook page, on my profile. On this last post right here. Just let me know if you got value from this, all right? Give me some love. Let me know. You know, every time I get feedback from you guys, it makes me more excited to do the next call. It makes me more excited to do more and to give more, you know? So I'm going to send you guys the direct link. And go check it out. Just show some love, please. Let the people know that, look, we truly are giving value here, right? We truly are helping people. While you guys are doing that, let's look at the news. Let me see. Let's look at the news. So, I'm not going to lie to you. I am horrible with flags. Okay, I'm going to keep it real. All right? I'm horrible with flags. So, I think that's England, New Zealand. Okay, cool. So, we got a little bit of news. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to bring up Forex Factory too because I'm not good with those flags. Okay? Let's just keep it real. But according to Forex Factory, this is what we got going on. We got no news tomorrow. We got a little bit of news, AUDUSD, but not a lot of news. Tuesday, heavy NZD news, all right? Wednesday, heavy USD news. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you know, more heavy USD news. So we could expect, you know, gold and US 30 and all those pairs to probably move a little bit more towards midweek, okay? So if we're looking for a big move, more than likely, we're probably going to get that big move around Tuesday, midnight, Wednesday, and Thursday, all right? So I kind of bounced that off of this, all right, just in case I might miss something or just in case Forex Factory doesn't have nothing. I'll also use myfsbook.com/Forex economic calendar. If you guys don't have this, I'm going to drop this in the chat. I love it. I love it, all right? A lot of times I miss some things. I got you, Colin. A lot of times I miss some things or Forex Factory doesn't have some things and my FS book will, all right? So with that being said, the whole point of news is this, guys, to prepare you for a major move that may or may not happen. So if you're a brand new to Forex, all right, if you're, you know, in this thing the last I would say a month, if you're trading a pair and, like, let's say if it's close to news, let's say for New York session on Tuesday, NZD news hits at 10 p.m. Eastern, right? If you're new, don't trade in the NZD pairs about 45, I would say an hour before and an hour afterwards. So let the market settle. Because throughout news, you're going to get those huge spikes. And those spikes can make you or break you, okay? So for this NZD, so any NZD USD, any other NZD pairs, anything like that, just stay away from it around this time. So between 9 and 11, right? That's the point that we like news. Some of us trade news. We're not going to cover any of that tonight, but you can make a lot of money trading news, okay? So let me go through the questions. Are we good? All right, cool. So if you guys only trade Forex pairs, if you don't like trading indices and stuff like that, this call is done for you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support. Right now, I'm going to go through a couple of faster moving pairs. This next couple of pairs that I cover, if you don't have a big account, I would say at least $1,000 in your trading account. If you're not trading these exclusively, and if you're brand new, I would say just play with these next couple of pairs on demo. Okay, if you're brand new, you probably should be on demo anyway. All right, because we've been charting out pairs that move a couple 100 pips, 50 pips, a day. This pair I'm about to cover right now, it does thousands of pips per day, thousands. Okay, so here is what we were looking at for US 30 last week. All right, we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, and basically saw a nice double bottom here, right at our second kill zone level. Okay, and we also saw the TDI. We had a nice little vector move on the second leg over here, broke above market sentiment, and our trigger line right here was finally crossing over market sentiment, even though neither one, the market sentiment was not above the 50 static. We were still looking for something that looks like this. A little bit of a pullback, right? 50% of this overall push up, we're looking for a pullback either to the 50 or to our first kill zone level, which for you may be the 618. But for me, it's the 0.62 on my fib. At this areas here, we're looking for US 30 to buy all the way back up to the previous high. And I might have to bring up my MC4 on this one so I can count these pips, okay? Give me one moment. So, what time is this? The 1 hour? All right. So let's see what it did. We kind of already saw what it did, right? That thing bought up. That thing bought all the way up, broke the previous high, and kept on going, right? We do have another level up here. We do have another level up here that we're expecting US 30 to hit and then fall. This fib is done. That played out. How many pips was that? From here to here. I gotta count this on MT4, guys. Hold on. That was 11,000 pips. This whole move was 11,000 pips. 11,000 pips. That would have made anyone's month. Woo! Okay? That would have made anyone's month. And that's in the week, guys. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. If you're not used to this type of fast movement, then just play with it on demo. Okay? What can we possibly see to come up this week? We got to go a little bit higher. So I'm still expecting this bad boy to buy all the way up to here. Okay? All the way up to here. And then we may get it pushed back down, but I wouldn't speculate too far. This is US 30. Okay? Level 1 is right here. If it happens, all right, well, let me chart this out and then we'll get into all that. All right, boom, level 1. By the time price comes down to here, this 50 EMA should be about even. All right, look at, I thought that was higher. I'm gonna look at the daily. All right, cool. Here's the daily. Boom, and then let's say another level here, another sell down. So here's the daily, guys. If we break this level, we're going here. If we break that level, how many pips is that? That is, I gotta make sure I'm reading this right. That is a lot of pips. That is like almost 19,000 pips, a little bit over 19,000 pips. Okay, back up to this high. So if we get this rejection, let's go back down. I don't like doing US 30 on so much of a smaller time frame unless I'm actually about to trade it. But for now, if we get rejection here, we're going to end up taking it back down to this level, take profit 1. If price breaks, I need this fib on the right time frame. All right. If price breaks this level, I can't even fit it on the screen. If price breaks this level, guys, we're going to be looking to go up to here, 29.5. Okay. Two different outlooks. I could tell you, knowing US 30, both of these might play out. Okay. Both.
Coach D.
Yes.
Do you expect a little pullback if it blows past that key level and then shoot up, or is it just going to just blow past and you keep going?
No. I'm definitely, well, okay. So it depends on what happens, if there's a news event or not. Okay. If it's not a news event, it's just natural price movement, then yeah, we want to see that pullback, right?
When you say natural movement, do you mean like without news?
Without news, like when the market first opens, if it pushes, right, then something like that, or if it's like at 9 o'clock, 9:30, you're usually going to push one way or another. So I would be expecting that if tonight price reaches this levels up here, and tomorrow morning around 9:30, if we're here at these levels, when the stock market opens back up, that bell rings, we're probably going to get a nice push down, then rejection push up. That's usually how it happens. When a new day, we get a push in one direction, and then it continues the other direction for the next couple hours. Okay, so just be aware of that. And if you have to, we're gonna break this down a little bit further. I'm gonna show you guys. Hold on. Let me take this trade real quick. Let me take the screenshot. US 30. H4. All right, so drop down when you're ready to trade. Okay, when you're ready to take a trade on this bad boy. I usually look at it around 9:30 in the morning. All right, drop down to the 15-minute, or even the 5-minute, really. Look, if this 5-minute is in a bipoma and prices start to push down tomorrow morning, wait to see what it does at the EMA 200. Okay. Also, if this CDI confuses you on the 5-minute, if I'm trading fast pair like US 30, I like to use my stochastic. All right, because this is how I know if it's going to buy back up. I'm just going to show you. How about that? Right here. Boom. Price falls, is near the EMA or at the EMA. Nice V on the stochastic. If I'm in a bipoma, I want to wait for it to fall, because what do we do with buys? We buy at support, sell at resistance, right? So it only makes sense to, if we're in a smaller time frame on the pair that moves thousands of pips in a day and a week, then you want to wait and only trade this with the trend, all right? And the best way to find a current trend, all right, not the bigger trends like these, because we already know it's buying, but it's so far away from the 50, right? We want to take our trades at the EMAs. That's why I have them. They show me, I can look at my chart automatically and see, okay, I'm looking for a buy. I'm in a buy POMA. All I have to do is wait for price to line up at an EMA. And my stochastic for a buy, I want my stochastic to be oversold, all the way oversold, coming out the bottom oversold, okay? Once I get that crossing the stochastic and I'm at an EMA, it's go time. I'm in there, especially on US 30, all right? Is this little move here, this looks like a little move, that's about probably 2,000-3,000 pips. Maybe 2, okay? Let me look at, I'm looking at the chat, Ooh, y'all charting it up. All right. So, even though we have this long-term, you know, we're waiting for the buy up, guess what? Catch those buys up. We know how far we're expecting it to go, right? It's still doing higher highs, okay? We have a high here, then a fall, and this high broke this high, and this high broke all these other highs, right? So we could get a small pullback back to the 50, see where your stochastic lines up, and take it up to the level that we're expecting it to sell. All right? Super simple. If you're not totally confident with that, guys, just do it on demo. See how it feels. Okay? Do it on demo, see how it feels. That's US 30. If we're expecting that on US 30, we can expect the same thing on SPS 500. I probably want to drop this chart. Go to the daily. Look, SPS 500. Let's go ahead and remove that. Didn't get the full pullback, right? But look where it's at now. It's getting close to that resistance level. This might actually start selling beforehand. You see our stochastic is about to cross. If it does, we can take it right back down to the support level. If it breaks that, take it down to the 50. Right? This is based off the daily. Based off the daily. So we could still get a spike up. Right? But then a nice sell down. Let's go to the 4-hour. 4-hour price is respecting this 50 EMA pretty well, right? So we could say is this, hey, look, we just now broke a high. We broke a high. Hold on. Oh, I keep on forgetting. All right. We broke a high over here, came back down for a retest, and it kept on going, right? We're looking for another retest, and then you could take the buy up. After it falls. Okay? If you don't feel comfortable waiting for the sales, stay with the trend. Okay? Stay with the trend. All right. I think we're good on this, guys. I think we are good on this. That's the SPS 500 4-hour. If I haven't answered your question so far tonight, maybe I missed you, go ahead and drop them now, all right, guys? Go ahead and drop them so I can make sure I have all of you guys good to go. Be sure when you guys do wait. So right now you will wait. Yes, right now I will wait. You should only put it like this. If you want to stay out of trouble, only take the trades when the price hits your EMA. Only take the trades when price gets to the EMA. Okay, guys? To the 50 or the 200. All right. So any last minute questions, guys? Did you guys get value? If you got value from this call, drop a number 11111 down in the comments, guys. Drop some dollar signs or something. Talk to your boy. As always, guys, also, if you guys have not yet, do me a favor. If you got value from this call, I dropped the link earlier. Can you guys just go ahead and just show me some love? You know, send me some hearts, some strong arms or something, all right? This is going to be the end of the call tonight. All of the charts will be in spec on the free Telegram channel. Be sure you guys like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And the replays of our YouTube channel, guys, if you look in the description, if there's a certain pair you're looking for, we have timestamps of every pair when I get to it. So you can go to the description, go straight to the pair you're looking for by clicking on the timestamp, and you'll be good to go. You don't have to sit through the whole webinar if it's not stuff that you're looking at, okay? So be sure you guys check the description, drop a comment, all right? Drop me some likes. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications, all right? As always, it's your boy DeAnte. Break the cycle section. Hope you guys enjoyed this session, and I'll see you in the live trade sessions.